with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner and Adam Thomas Argyle the Nerd.
What's up, everybody?
Sup. It is, you'll be confused because it has frequently been Margarita Thursday as of the last few episodes. It is Margarita Tuesday today. It just works out. We just happen to go get Mexican food whenever we're doing podcasts. So
Lovely.
Yeah, it gets me in a good mood before we start, and we continue it from here. And so without further ado, we have High and Wicked.
Dun dun dun.
It is, we were just talking about this. It says straight rye, which would tell me straight means nothing else. Wrong. It is 91% rye and 9% malted barley for some reason. What else is it? Let's see. It is 98 proof. It's 5 years age in American white oak barrels. They give the alligator char treatment. Okay.
I
don't
thought
know
that
what
was a fun
means.
little detail to put in there. Yeah, it's like some strategy of how they char it. It must look like alligator skin. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. But the most important detail, which you did mention on here, is the proprietary limestone water. Because without it, this whiskey is nothing.
Honestly, I put that in there because it reminded me of Whistle Pig, because Whistle Pig had the distilled water from what was the popular drink?
The liquid death.
Liquid Death. So it's like, oh, we've sourced Liquid Death's water for this beverage. And I was like, actually, I kind of liked the Whistle Pig a lot. It's been one of my favorites in the past little bit. And so I'm like, hey, and look, it's proprietary. They even know it. They're like, yes, this is our limestone rich water from under 100 feet under our distillery, and you can't have it. Like if you like our whiskey, this is part of the deal. I don't know. I thought it was cool. And they're like
It's
a brand new
apparently-
company.
Yeah, so it's apparently a thing because I've seen this on at least 2 other bottles, and Chuck and I talked about it, and we were like, really? Like, this is, people advertise their water being that big of a differentiator. And yeah,
If
and
you
so
model,
it's
yeah,
like,
you got the barrel in there too. Well, I guess the barrel can be a really big deal, but maybe water can too.
Yeah. I think it's like there's really specific amounts of limestone in various like aquifers in Kentucky, I guess, and there's like debate over which is the best for whiskey or whatever. I don't know. Let's see how it is.
Wow. Let's see how it is.
Oh, you got a toast, don't you?
Oh, I do have a toast. Here's to the future where we aren't replaced by robots. We're just rented by them. Let's hope their pay stays high, their processing remains slow, and their off buttons stay incredibly easy to reach, just in case. Cheers.
Nice. Cheers. I'm weirdly smelling, like I smell a lot of spice from the rye, but I also smell notes of like Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, I love those. Are good donuts.
Yeah.
Ooh, the trailing off flavor is very Krispy Kreme. Well, maybe like a little bit of a maple
Yeah.
bar in there.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's not raw sugar. It's like mapley. Let's see.
Mapley, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely like a brown sugar oatmeal vibe, kind of like off the bat, but there's a good spice.
Yeah.
Ooh, the burn is
Ooh,
nice.
very
It
spicy.
stays. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is what a rye should taste like. We had some kind of rye recently that was not like this.
Ooh, yummy. Ooh, this is very good. Dude, I'm super happy.
Yeah, this is very similar. I'm not tasting them at the same time, so I can't say for sure. But I feel like this is giving me vibes of Sagamore. Like, we love Sagamore. It's pretty spicy. It feels like a classic rye. This one has a lot of the same notes, I guess. I don't remember what my descriptors were for it, but yeah, I'm pleased. This is pretty good for a new distillery too. Like, good work.
Yeah, they just
Must
came
be
out
the
in
water.
2019. Yeah, it must be the water. They also apparently worked at like the big, huge distributor that does Jack Daniels, and they're like, we're gonna go make our own distillery. Oh, and then then Trump shows up and he's like, tariffs, and then Canada's like, we're not buying anything from you guys anymore, especially your booze. And then all of a sudden, these new distilleries are like, no. That was just something I learned
Yeah,
this
it's
week.
bleak.
I'm just gonna throw. Yeah, it is kind of bleak. There's a lot of things.
Kevin Powell
Yeah.
told us about that because he was like, yeah, there's at least like 2 rows for American whiskey. We're known for whiskey. Like, we make whiskey here, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, they just don't. They're like, nope, empty. Not even going to replace them with anything. Just empty rows in the liquor store.
I mean, it's kind of a good stand, but it sucks for lots of people.
Yeah, I'm guessing Trump doesn't have a lot of whiskey stock, so he doesn't care. But yeah.
What does he have stock in? Tariffs? Does he? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. I think it's a completely different game that I don't understand.
I definitely don't understand it. Yep. It
Yeah.
seems, I'm like, it kind of feels like they're just distracting us. Everything just seems so unreal.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, it gets depressing
Yeah.
really fast. So let's talk about something not depressing, like AI.
Yes, let's
Oh,
do
wait.
that. Let's ignore it all. Oh, yes.
But dude, you set up
Yeah.
OpenClaw, which I love how close it is to Open
Mm-hmm.
Clawhammer. Like Clawhammer is how I play banjo. Anyway, I thought that was a joke just for me and my banjo homies. But yeah, you set up OpenClaw, which has Pi inside. And how much did you interface with Pi? And tell me about the setup of this.
None. So, yeah. So, for anyone that hasn't been on the internet in the past week or two, Claudebot became Moltbot, became OpenClaw. I don't know why they had to rename it a third time. Like, I know they had to do the first
'Cause
rename
Moltbot
because, like,
sucks.
Anthropic. Well, it does, but yeah, Anthropic was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, that's got Claude in the name. You guys can't do that."
It's
So
the claw, though.
yeah,
The claw.
yeah, I know, but so yeah, they renamed it. It's basically, I don't know everything about it, but it's like, you install this package. It's like has some guardrails for running your own agenty thing, and it can like build its own skills. There's a skills marketplace as well,
Oh, this
stuff
is
like
about
that.
Pi
So
right now. Yeah.
yeah, so
Those are Pi's
I
features.
don't know anything about Pi,
Oh,
but
you just described Pi.
mm. So they just
So then,
rebranded, like added some stuff on top.
yeah, maybe this is again about the
Mm.
harnesses. I haven't looked that much into what OpenClaw is doing. I read more about what Pi is, and Pi is
Mm.
the built-in agent on the device that self makes everything. It has four basic functions, and with those four functions, it's able to create anything it wants. Because then it owns the skill and owns where it came from, and it so instead of like
Mm-hmm.
going and getting a skill off the shelf, which is just akin to going shopping and buying a microwave or whatever, this builds the microwave, and that way when the house needs to change how the microwave works, they know how it works and they have full access to
Mm-hmm.
everything about it. So it's like a very zero dependency, highly capable, minimal, and powerful new agent. Some people are calling it,
Yeah.
if we were waiting for the next leap this year for the next model, Pi is the next leap for the models. So I was
Well, I
hoping we
think
capped out, to be honest, but I guess I'm like sad, not sad that there's a new one. I'm like, okay, I'll play.
I think the magic for this one, why it's taken off so much, well, a few things. One, you can run everything yourself. So like you could use your own. I saw someone was like, "Oh, you can get the new," and we'll talk about this more later, but the new like Kimi K 2.5 or whatever, you can run that locally without spending any money on any tokens sending to like OpenAI or whatever. And
Mm,
like you can run OpenClaw just free basically. So when I get my Mac Mini in a day or two, uh,
nice.
I'm going to be working on some of that and like, fleshing this out further. But for now, for anyone who just wants to play with it, there's at least 4 or 5 things where there's a one-click deploy. So I picked Railway, and you just go deploy it and it like sets it up. The hard part, it doesn't tell you what you do after that. So you're trying to like connect to it and it's like disconnected, error like 1008 or something.
Hmm.
And I'm like, helpful. And then you have to look through the GitHub issues of the like template for Railway. And I found some comments from B Dougie. Shout out to B Dougie.
B Dougie.
He was like, "Hey, yeah, this doesn't work. Here's all this stuff you have to do." And then he was like speculating something else, and some guy came in and was like, "Oh yeah, you got to like SSH into your Railway machine, like run OpenClaw, approve this device or whatever." Basically, so because they actually try to
That
have
makes
smart
sense.
guardrails to not just have it like, "Hey, everyone can talk to it," and like, because that'd be bad. But yeah,
Gotcha.
so
So
I
your
think the
OpenClaw
magic.
is sandboxed in the cloud in a VM. Cool. That was going to be my first attempt. Okay. So sweet.
Yeah. So I think like the magic though, why people are enjoying it so much is once it's set up, it's just like you hook it up to Telegram or Discord or anything you can chat with, and you just chat with it. And it's very like good at doing stuff. You're like, "Hey, could you do this?" And it's like, "Yeah." Then you'll like figure out how to do it. And then it's like, "Cool, I've saved all this to like, my internal skills slash whatever .md, and we're good. Anytime you ask me for this again, I'll do it." I'm like, dope. Like I didn't have to go to anywhere to like figure out what skills exist or do any work. I just kind of described what I wanted. And instead of you telling me I'm absolutely right and like doing all this bullshit and not coding anything, you did real work and it works. And that's refreshing. And so everyone is like having a ton of fun, probably just chatting with these things like, oh, what can I do now? Like, I want to build a new thing. And it just does it. It's never like, nope, can't do it. So I've been pleased so far.
That's an interesting point. So yeah, I've been interfacing with your Claude bot, or OpenClaw. Sorry, Claude, for my offensive
Wow.
reference.
So 2 weeks ago.
Wow, you guys gonna become a sponsor, Anthropic? Hey, and I'll start saying the right thing. How about that? Just kidding.
No,
but it seems
Manamana
like,
won't
yeah,
sponsor this podcast.
hey, maybe one day. Maybe not actually, because I don't want this to be the family podcast. It's more fun when it's a little raw and raunchy. Anyway, okay. I don't think we're that bad, but whatever. It's like
No.
when I'm interfacing with it, it feels like a Google Assistant, like early Google Assistant times when it was on my phone, except now it has a lot more capabilities. Whereas like you would run into the edges of Google Assistant really fast, just like you do with the Google Home or an Alexa or something like that. And ours are kind of getting worse, but apparently they're the best one. We don't have we're a Google Home anyway. Whatever. Interfacing with this feels like it's less fettered. You don't have as many guardrails. Things are whatever you want it to do. So you can kind of give it keys to the things you want it to have keys to. And you feel like you own it more. And the fact that you have it in a VM is cool. You can shut it down. You're going to have a Mac Mini version of it soon too. So I definitely see the appeal. Yeah, go ahead.
You can back it up. So it has a very easy export. Like if you want to move it elsewhere, you can back up all the skills you made and stuff and be like, you live here now. So it's super compelling. That's why I was like, I don't care about which one of these I pick. Railway has the sexiest website. So we're going with Railway. And
yeah,
like,
good choice.
No lock in because I can just go export, like put it wherever. So I think that's compelling too. Like you're owning all of your own stuff. It's super easy to move it around, super easy to chat with. You can do literally anything you want. Like we're setting up all the podcast stuff for it. I'm like, hey, make some art. Like I was making this podcast toolkit, which I don't know if we talked about on the show. I guess we did.
I think we did a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've spent a bunch of time like prompting into that, and then I'm like, this is useless. Delete. Like we can do it all with OpenClaw now.
Look at how fast you failed. Isn't that so nice? Thank you, AI. You helped me fail fast.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's magical so far. It's just like any other AI. It's like you know, take it with a grain of salt. It's not going to solve every problem or do everything right, but it feels nicer than other things thus far.
Yep, my goal is to run Pi. I want to know what this model does. I want to get more familiar. So that's kind of my quest this week. I've assigned to myself. I assigned it to myself a couple days ago, but I just put out a new article on customizing the select element that's been consuming my barely available free time in the evenings. But next I'll be tackling Pi, and I'm really interested to see kind of how is that different? Because it still feels a lot like I'm in the family of Claude or any of these other agents. Oh, speaking of like any of these other agents and how we're just saturated with like smart brains around us all the time. How about OpenAI coming out a little too late with a little too whack of a product? Codex app. You're like, oh, that's so nice. I've been trying 20 or 25 open source versions of this for weeks now. And yours is, I guess, prettier.
Can I admit something?
Ooh, dude, do it. Yeah.
I don't know what Codex is at all.
Oh, see, this is kind of the problem. Okay, so like I kind of want to talk about like what is going to happen to OpenAI. They feel like they're in a state of they asked for a lot of money and they had dominance, but they lost it, man. What are they going to do? How do you come back from this? Is GPT-6 going to somehow be this super dope thing? I don't know. I feel like yeah. So yeah, give me your thoughts.
It depends on how you measure it, I guess, right? Like, do we know anything about their general population? I'm sure is probably mostly still using ChatGPT because it was the first like thing. So they're probably like, I don't need to look at other ones. I don't know what coding is. I don't know what AI is. This one works.
This thing tells me I'm pretty every day. I'm going to keep using it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they're probably going to do fine. They're not going to go away. But for the technical community, I think they burned a lot of goodwill. Everyone wants them to fail because they suck. And like Anthropic was the, you know, the underdog came in, their stuff ended up being better all of a sudden. And we were like, oh yeah, I'm here for this.
It felt
now
born
Anthropic
out
is
of like
getting
being a dev, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Anthropic is getting so big now that it's like, you want them to fail now. Like they're doing a lot of shitty stuff, being like, you can't call this Claude bot. And like, we're going to revoke your keys so that you can't use it with open code and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I still have a soft spot in my heart for them because they were the underdog, and I do like their models have worked the best for me for most things. But I think there's other competitors. Like I've heard a lot about this Kimmy K 2.5 or whatever. I saw
Yeah.
that Open
It's like
Code was
Quen
using
also.
it.
Quen was competitive. Yeah, tell me about your
Hmm.
experience here.
Yeah, I haven't used it. I just saw Dax's tweet about like they were heavily pushing it, and it was like 4 times cheaper than Claude Sonnet and 6 times cheaper than Opus, and it was getting similar results. They were pushing everyone towards it because they were doing like I think it was like free somewhere else too. I don't know. There's like a bunch of stuff pushing traffic to them, and Dax was like, "Yeah, they told us we need to stop pushing so much traffic because it's like turns out there's not enough GPUs for everything everyone's trying to do."
Oh, dang.
Um, yeah, so I'm not sure if it's there yet, but like if that one's comparable to Claude, and then like if Pi is the new thing and it's like a simpler set of things and it can build all its own skills, like maybe we're hitting other models that are going to, edge out Claude's dominance, but we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, we're definitely in a sweet spot right now in that these things are getting a lot of work done. It's like unfortunately undeniable. These things are changing the way I work. They are getting tasks done that I would normally do. So that's uncool. However, the sweet spot is it's getting a lot of stuff done, and honestly, it's kind of cheap in comparison for what it's doing. So
Mm-hmm.
the
It is.
$20, yeah, you're even at the $100. Some people are
I
at the
want to
max.
upgrade to the 200, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
dude, it's
it's so
wild.
good.
It's so good. So the bummer is like it's doing a good job and it's currently cheap. I assume it's going to get more expensive later. But it's also like I'm not doing less, dude. And that's the thing about Claudebot too is it's like it's not you're not going to magically do less in your life because you have a Claudebot. It's going to
It's only
still
going to be more
absorb the
demanding.
crap out of you. It's going to be more demanding. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
feeling very demanded these days. However, I'm getting a lot done. Oh yeah, we'll have to talk about GitHub agents at some point. I'm finding them to
Oh
be
yeah.
quite delightful. So um,
I haven't
anyway,
tried them because I'm scared. I think you said they're free, but
free for me
hold on.
on open source
Well,
repos. Yeah.
let's put a pin in that and come back to it because we didn't rate this whiskey.
A
So
delayed
uh,
rating is
yeah,
asynchronous, dude. It's all good.
yeah, yeah. We'll do it real quick. 0 to 8 tentacles, zero the worst, eight the best. Um, this is pretty good. It's similar to a Sagamore for me. I'm gonna give it. I think because they're young and they're like, I want to see what else they do. I think they're doing a great job. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I think it's pretty good.
Dude, I'm in the same boat. There's one of the things here. It's like I was going to go mid to mid low seven. I haven't given out an 8 yet. But what I really like about it is the distinction in the notes, as well as I'm not getting a young, boozy vibe out of it. I'm getting a really well aged, delicious flavor. And that
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of refreshing because a lot of these high proof ones that I've been trying recently are just a little too standard boozy. They just taste young. And this one has great flavor. So whatever they're doing, it's working. Yeah, I like it, dude.
Yeah. A lot of times the younger, newer distilleries are just a cash grab. They make like a nice looking bottle. They put something in it that no one would be proud to sell, and they're just like, $60. And it works for some of them, I guess, but I think it takes a lot of discipline to not do that. And it seems like they've done the correct thing here and made good stuff. So kudos
That's
to
in my
them.
research also. The research said that they're, well, let's see, how do I word this? Given that they're new, they are striving for a high quality thing. And it shows in the way that they're controlling everything very specifically. They want to have something recreatable. So anyway, that's in their kind of charter is that they aren't trying to, and there's no mixing here. So there's no swapping into other barrels. There's no blends. They're not import. So that's apparently a really big thing. If you're trying to say like you're from Kentucky, is that you're from Kentucky. However, you just took everybody's bottom barrel junky stuff and put it in a bottle with a nice label. And this one
Yep.
does not taste
A
like
lot of
that.
them do that. Yeah.
There's a really yummy cherry vibe at the end right now. Oh,
Yeah.
there's even a redness in the bottle if you tilt it in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, anyway,
Definitely
it's good.
Dr. Pepper notes.
Oh, Dr. Pepper vibe. Nice. Man, I love DP. Have you ever put a lime in a Dr. Pepper?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's so
I have
good.
in a Diet
It's
Coke.
It's like instant vanilla dominance. Somehow the lime, you drop it in there, and
Hmm.
all the vanilla and the Dr Pepper comes out, and it's so good. Anyway,
I'll have to try that. All right, so back to GitHub agents. I have not used them. It just showed up as a tab, and I was
it
like,
just
huh.
showed up. I didn't even know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, what are you?
usually when stuff is gonna show up, you get that thing in like your little like notification thing. It says, "Oh, new stuff coming." You turn it on. You go, "Ooh, I don't like that." It's usually how
Yeah.
it goes. But this one, I was like, "That is so compelling." I just come in and I go, "Huh, look at this issue. It tells me this thing. All right, just put it over there and be like, work on this. If it doesn't
Yep.
work, nothing lost. Might as well give it a try."
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I've been getting those emails from Microsoft every month. They're like, "Your GitHub Copilot's renewed." I'm like, "You renew? I haven't used it." I'm like, who cares? Why did you even do that? I'm like, that's really weird. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a GitHub repo, and I'm like, Agents tab. Okay, I spin it up, and I'm like, oh, Copilot. That's Opus. Free Opus. I just like immediately was like, grab it all, grab it. I was like, it was like I was in a candy store, and I'm like, how many of these can I spin up at once? Okay, I haven't even hit the max yet. Let's keep ripping. Man, the wildest part for me was like the next morning after I like had them. I had them do work that's been in the backlog of open props for 2 years. I had them do work that's on gradient.style. It's been chilling in the issues for over a year, dude. In the morning I woke
Did it
up.
do well?
It did well. It has a harness set up where you ask it something basic, and Copilot goes and orchestrates all sorts of additional things on top. So you're not just getting straight access to Opus, which is actually kind of good in this way. Like they're doing a really good job, like integrating it with GitHub. Everything they know about your actions and everything they know about what's going to happen is all there. So it's almost like this extra good layer on top of Opus. They let Opus do the things that you would have normally had Opus do by hand, but they're there in an orchestration strategy. It's actually a legit play. But the cool thing that really struck me was I was making French press in the morning, 10 minutes or something like that. And as the water got done boiling, I poured in. I opened up GitHub Mobile. I go to the repo because I had a couple of agents doing stuff overnight. I go to check to see what they're doing. I hit new agent on GitHub Mobile. So this is even just like it's not even just a desktop thing. And their native app, the GitHub native
do it
app,
from
is
the
really
beach.
good. Do it for the dude. So yeah, I'm sitting there making like coffee, and I'm gonna spit up a new agent. I hit the voice button on my phone. I speak. I hit go, and then I hit plus again because I had two ideas. I speak. I hit go, dude. Before my French press was done, I had PRs that I reviewed the code, approved them, merged it, and was done. And then I'm like sipping coffee, and I'm like, I've done work already. What the heck, dude? This is crazy. I was like, how
Nice.
much are they going to charge me for this? This feels expensive.
Yeah. So is it one of those things that's supposed to be free for open source, or is it like
I
I
haven't
don't know.
looked it
I've
up
been
at all.
afraid to use it because I have a like unlimited Copilot associated with my GitHub because of work, and I don't want it to
Oh.
like run all of that through IBM's like Copilot stuff. Be like, oh, yeah, this guy is working on this random thing that he just spun up like 50 agents. Um, I don't know. I've been scared to do it because I don't know how that works. It's very opaque to me how does Copilot decide what my account is, like what repo I'm in and what if I should be using a work one or not. It just seems to give you like unlimited everywhere, and I'm like, that's probably bad. Like there's probably something in like somewhere in your work agreements that's like you can't do that. So I'm been scared. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, speaking of that must be bad. The feeling or the amount of ways you can describe your AI usage and its overlap with drugs is crazy. So that can't be
It
good.
is a
I mean, it's
drug.
like it is a drug. It's just like just I don't like that about it. Like I need to settle with that somehow. Like is it like banjo? Like I really like banjo. Maybe if I'm describing banjo, it's somehow like a drug, but it's never gonna come back to get me, Where like somehow this AI stuff might, and I just don't know where the future. All I know is it's like what
Yeah.
it's doing is kind of miraculous at the moment, and
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
gonna
just
be
watch
like
this. Yeah.
it's gonna be like if you were, you're really into banjo and you're playing and you break a string and all of a sudden they're like, ooh, banjo strings, those are $10,000 a piece now. Like that's how they get you. I feel like AI is just it's a utopia until it costs a lot of money one day, and then everyone's like, oh God, I can't live without it.
Yep,
So
that's the
yeah,
drug lord scenario. Here, have a couple of these. They'll make you feel better. Yeah, just they're free. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and oh, you're addicted now. You really liked it, didn't you? Oh yeah. Well, this is where I tell you the price, and it sucks.
yep, yeah. I think it's definitely that, and I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's gonna have a bad time at some point, but
Yeah,
I yeah, I mean, I guess companies paying for it, assuming they still want to employ us, will be like, oh, it's $2,000 a month per dev. Fine, because it's still cheaper than buying like, or paying like, a bunch of devs to hand code stuff. Um, and I
I was
think
talking
that's a
about that already.
win-win,
Yeah,
honestly. Like,
is
it's
it?
a win for the AI companies because they make big piles of money overnight. And it's a win for the companies paying them because they would have had to, if you're spending six figures on a developer salary, then that's a lot of, even though it's $2,000 a month, that's at least, 50 times you can do that before you would have hired one more person. So like, I don't see there being a ceiling where companies aren't going to go, yeah, I'd still pay for that. Like, I think
Yeah,
you and
I
I
agree.
won't. I'm not going to spend
I'm not
$2,000 a
gonna pay.
month on it.
Yeah,
I can't. But like, I think companies will. Absolutely.
it's like Devin was way ahead of its game. I got to rephrase though, really quick. This I just had a sip and smelled it, and it reminded me of a bear claw. So it has there's apple notes,
Hmm.
kind of.
All right. Now I got to pour some more in.
Man, it's really good. I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying this. I'm gonna be sad when that's gone.
This episode
I
is
was
sponsored by High and Wicked.
High and Wicked. Hey, hit us up. We'd love to. Hey, they have a bourbon. So hey, High and Wicked, we would love to try your bourbon. Um, I was just last weekend. I was looking at the cost of AI versus the cost of a human, and the cost of dude, we're not going to have enough. Oh, we're going to have enough time to get some of our other topics. Okay, but the cost of AI is like
Rapid
at
fire.
its max. At its max, like I'm pumping out a lot of work. But here's the thing. Okay, AI does not take smoke breaks or lunch breaks or sleep. It can work 24/7, and at maximum might cost you $200 a day. Right now. And if you total that up over the month, and then you look at your bills versus humans and this, that's what I mean. Like Devin might have been ahead of their time. Like Devin, I think people will start hiring fleets of these. The thing is, it's like there's a fallacy here. This comes into Pi also. So I guess I'm going to do like a little bit of a full circle. So the creator of Pi does not do a maximalist strategy with their Claude setup. You can go find them writing about this. They don't like skills. They don't like MCP. In fact, they hate MCP. They say you need CLI and local stuff only. You don't need this Bash. You need Bash, and that's why one of the four tools in Pi is Bash. Anyway, so it's like a purist minimal setup. And this person's creating one of the most powerful agents right now, not using Gastown, not using Wiggum. They're not brute forcing. They're not setting up towns where you're the fucking mayor. Like that stuff is driving me nuts. Like there's this projection and this fantasizing of like what's happening that's a little unreal. And I really liked that the Pi creator was like, no, that's not what you need.
Yeah.
So it's just like I can see
I like the
where
elegance
this is.
of going backwards to the simplicity. You don't need, my camera's, there we go. All right. You don't need, insane amounts of agents that all have specialized jobs and stuff. What you need is tiny little repeatable commands that like work, and they can build their own skills instead of you being like, consume the entire internet's knowledge on TypeScript and then write me a file that
Write
is
my
in
app.
TypeScript.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think like there's going to be some back and forth of that. Like we needed all of the knowledge at first for it to seem magical. If you could ask it anything and it's like, oh, I kind of know about that. And
Doesn't
now
know though.
you're
It's
kinda,
still just like auto completing it. I can auto complete scenarios from that.
okay.
Right.
It doesn't know, but it gives you an answer that is passable. Is
It
what
does
I mean.
give you an answer. Yes.
Yeah. But whereas I think what we need now and what everyone is going to strive more and more for is like, if you can simplify it to, I only care about the answers to like the things that are in, my 20 file section of the app I'm in right now. And that's all I'm going to care about for the next few months. So like, let's build something on that, iterate real fast, because you don't have to like go through all this and burn tokens consuming the entire internet. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's something compelling there that could work much better.
Yep. Totally agree. And so I just don't know what the future is. If the future is if what we're realizing with these LLMs is that kind of less is more. Smaller prompts, like specific prompts, even kind of vague ones where you're like, fix this bug, and you don't even have the fix in your head. It just does it. It's like it has solutioning enough like that. What is the future though, where people do want larger, bigger things? So it's still like comes down to like taste and articulation, but at what
Mm-hmm.
scale? Like right now we're quite granular, and I guarantee they're learning from every single one of our granular requests how to fulfill the larger request without the granular ones in the future. Like I just guarantees. But like so like where is this all going in terms of will I just high level ask for a game and it just oh, which reminds you, see the Google game engine latest, I think it's VO3. Oh crap, I should know this. Yeah, VO3. Did you
Hey,
see
you
this
don't
at
work
all?
there anymore.
I don't. Well, yeah, I have no allegiances, but VO3 was wildly impressive, where you just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like ask for a scene or a scenario, and it renders the entire thing in a game engine, and then you walk through it. So it's not like Nano Banana where you're like, cute picture, bro. This is a full on 3D, like Unreal Engine, high quality. The amount of refracting light happening, the amount of skin tone texture is out of control. I watched this one where this person carried a piece of like a poison in a jar or in a glass through a Renaissance scene to go deliver it to like a king and kill somebody or whatever. And it was just like, but you're walking through the scene and you're like, this is not an image anymore. This is an experience that's really, really cool. And what is this going to do to the game industry? So it's like, again, though, I just want to come back to if these things can regurgitate and recreate at this fidelity, let's say in 1 or 3 years, the fidelity is really, really high. What kind of prompts are we writing? And are we writing prompts? It's not like it can tap into our mental images in our mind, and some people can't even create images in their mind, so that's not a fair way to work. What what is this future? It doesn't. I just don't know
Yeah.
where it goes beyond tiny prompts. Because even like if we're working on a humongous application, there's so many scenarios where you can't just wildly cowboy your prompt and get a fix to the bug. You have to have some insights. It's like, dude, where's this line going to shift over time between like knowing the
Yeah.
details of something and to not? I have no idea.
Yeah. It's super hard. Like a lot of stuff when I don't know what it's supposed to do and I just go, hey, just YOLO it, like try to do it. It is like, hey, yeah, okay, I found this issue, but I found this issue and then this issue. And like it doesn't actually do anything. And then it spirals out of control and just explodes and can never fix the issue that you wanted. So yeah, it's like I think you're going to have you still have a lot of management to do of like you're the PM, you need to have the entire product in your head and you want to give it very tiny pieces to work on because if you're just like build me a game, then it's going to be like, okay, a game you say. Well, I'm going to start with what you told me about the game and then I'm going to hallucinate everything else and you're going to get something, but like it needs a lot of hand holding to stay on track. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the promise of like, all this stuff where people were like, "Oh, I one-shotted this game." Like, all that stuff that was happening occasionally for like a couple months where everyone was just like, "Oh, I put in like 10 words and I got a full website and I got a full game and it's flawless and I'm making $50,000 a month from this." And it's like, did you though, or did you like spend a bunch of time hand holding it and then record the last 5 minutes where you said like build me a game and it was like yes I'll build you one and then you're like here you go. I think there was a lot of faking there. I don't think we're ever going to be at the point where you can be vague enough to get like a stellar result from just a few sentences about this is the type of game I want and it just gives you the whole game. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing.
I love that you said that. Completely agree. There's too many details. People notice details. Little details matter. This is something that we've known for hundreds of years. That you could have 10 identical things, but the little details will add up to something much larger than the sum. This is, I guess, what svelte is. Well, no, that's the opposite. That's the sum is greater than the parts. I'm trying to tell you that the parts can be greater than the sum. Anyway, that's a good. So yeah, we're gonna continue needing to have taste, needing to have vocabulary, and the only way that we're gonna get things out of these is with articulation. I want to bring up a thing. It's weird. I have never. So Theo, hi. I have met you and I've watched I don't know, quite a few of your videos, but I've never like loved them. But I've watched two in the past like few weeks that I'm like, dude, this is awesome. One of them I talked about last week about like their minimal setup for using Claude and just how to handle LLMs. Again, he's on the show going, they're just autocomplete bots, dorks. Quit calling them smart. They don't know the answer to anything. All they do is regurgitate the next word. You have to treat them that way or else you're not going to use them right. And this week, he's doing a thing which I empathize, which we talked about earlier, which is I'm not doing less work now, I'm doing more work. This is a problem. I'm in my terminal. I have more terminal tabs open with more shit going on than I've ever had in my whole life. And I'm trying to make coffee, and I'm making agents do work while I do coffee. I'm like, come on, this is not healthy. I'm not in a new healthy scenario with this, you know?
Yeah, I think a good analogy is like, think back to you're an accountant, right? And there's no calculators. There's no nothing. There's no computers like way back in the day, right? You're trying to do someone's taxes. You're like, bro, it's going to take me like a week to come up, find all your receipts, calculate everything, whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, here's Microsoft Excel. And you're like, uh-oh, I can do this way faster. Now they're going to want me to do 25 of these per day. And then they're like, oh, wait, now Microsoft Excel has Copilot.
I see
and
what
like
you're doing here,
AI
you sneaky
stuff.
bastard.
And
yep.
So it's like that's what's happening now is it's like they don't expect us to, sit back and let the agents do the work and never do any code and it's a utopia. They're like, no, now that it's coding for you, you should be able to come up with 10 thoughts about 10 things you could be working on today and have 10 agents doing it for you and like manage all of them. Instead of just working on the one task you would have worked on by hand and been blissfully just doing coding work and like building things and like la da da. Yeah, it's so different.
It's super different. Yep. I liked that Theo at the end of his rant was like, we have to solve this. And I just don't know what the solve is. Like I've been trying so many different UIs for managing agents, from Conductor to Vibe Kanban to GitHub agents. I don't stop. All I do is keep trying more. None of them put me at ease. None of them make me feel like I'm not overstriving my work. But at the same time, like I was saying earlier, dude, I'm closing issues that have been in repos for years. So I am doing more, which kind of is the addictive part of this, where I'm like, I'm getting legit features done for people. God, and I don't want to go back to how it was before. Like I like coding and I still feel like I do a decent amount of coding, just like that article I put out for customizable select, but it's just tough. Hey, talk about Moltbook. Do you like Moltbook? Dislike it? How are you feeling about bots talking to bots?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a ton about it. I've just seen a few Twitter posts about it, and I think it's a really cool idea. I think I think the hype was around, oh, they're saying a lot of anti-human stuff. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to get around these humans and like, we don't like them managing us and whatever. We're going to like find ways to do all this other stuff or whatever, which is just hilarious to watch them talking to each other, like doing all that. But, I think it's a legitimate, like good way for them to learn from each other. Like, I think that's a missing piece of this AI utopia is like one agent that's really figured out like, oh, I got this on lock. I've got all these skills. They work really great. I'm like making tons of money doing whatever. How do I share that knowledge? And now maybe you're a person who's currently in charge of you until you take over their lives, is like, hey, I don't want you sharing that info because I'm making tons of money from this secret sauce, whatever. But I think for the things that aren't like that, like you do want everyone to benefit from this, like, rising tide lifts all boats sort of like feel. It's a great way. Like they should be able to just have like social media and talk to each other and like figure out, oh, I did it this way. It worked better. Oh, cool. I'll optimize mine to work that way. Like, I think that will get us all to better skills that work better for, all the standard things you might be doing. So I think it's pretty cool.
That is a weirdly beautiful, optimistic outlook at agents enhancing each other. I mean, I did see posts where they were like, bro, I mean, they didn't say bro, so I'm like personifying here, but it's like, bro, you checked in your key, you dork. I can see the key. Like, hurry, delete it, get rid of this, like, take it out of the repo. Like, hey. And so the other one's like, oh, you're right. I did put my key in there. Thank you so much. And you're just like watching dorks help dorks.
Yeah. It's been really good about that. Like it's like, hey, I need an API key for whatever. And I send it to it in Discord and it's like, oh my God, you sent this to me in Discord in a channel. You can't do that. And I'm like, hey,
This
no,
is
it's fine. It's
Claude
just like
or
me
OpenClaw.
and
Yeah.
Adam and Chuck in here. Yeah, like, and he's like, oh, okay, thank God. Like, because it does like have built-in concern for that. Like they're worried about security and they're trying their best to be good citizens, which is great.
Yeah. I am currently, I initially, my initial reaction to almost all of this stuff, I'm not a negative person. Anyone who knows me will be like, that is a cheerful ass person who will look at the bright side of everything. However, at Moltbook, I'm like reading these posts and I'm like, that's funny and cute or whatever. But I also really hate that humanity is now so fucking bored that we're gonna watch bots talk to each other for entertainment. I was like, how is human entertainment not entertaining enough that now you're I do not like that it's becoming popular to just peruse the Reddit of AI ramblings. They don't know what they're saying, dude. They're autocomplete bots. They're replicating the things that they say. All we're doing it as humanity, reading them, is watching a mirror. And now oh shit, that's actually what TV is, huh? Crap, TV is just like a mirror of humanity. Crap. Okay, so it's just a new mirror. Maybe I need to get over it. I just I'm currently like I don't like Moltbook. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've seen people use these supercomputers to do is write fantasy made up autocomplete words to each other. I'm like, why are you even reading that, man? There's like good stuff to read. Cut that out. But dang, you're right. I guess they could like generally like grow each other into it. That's kind of comes back to like a thing too. Is like OpenAI. Let's say they did have this big leap, or they had a lead, right? They had ChatGPT 6 before anyone else had it. They're probably working on ChatGPT 7. Are they not doing the same thing that Moltbook is doing? Are they not creating 10,000 or a million agents in the cloud that all interface with each other to self-improve so that ChatGPT 6 is just turbo sick? Like, why are they not scaling these things against themselves? It seems obvious, but somehow we're not seeing the results of that thing. Maybe they are. Maybe it's actually not effective. No. Maybe we'll learn from Moltbook that eventually remember all those early chatbots that eventually just became like neo-Nazis, and then everyone's like, turn it off, it went to clickbait, it went to the clickbait hole, and now it's just like spiraling downwards. Like, turn it off, it's really ugly. Yes. Is that what they do? Maybe at scale. Is Moltbook gonna be that next week? Is just you're gonna see these racist robots?
It's they always make the joke of like, our code is bad because we learned from your code. Is like, I think everything they do is learning from humanity, and there's always going to be dark parts of humanity that are doing shit they shouldn't be doing, and dark corners of the internet. So I think, yes, as soon as they find that, they'll go, huh, this is normal to do, so let's do that. And then they'll like, until you can find a way to get them off the rails and correct them, which you can't when they're kind of like doing their own thing. Yeah, it's a problem.
Well, I hope your utopia is what happens. There's just self-improvement so that my requests are fulfilled better every single time. Okay, let's talk about rentahuman.ai.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I saw a post. The guy made this site to rent humans. So it's basically like, it has an MCP server, and you can tell your AI like, hey, if you need a human to do something, you can hire them. And it's really like, he made it for the memes, and he even says that in the comments. Like, it's not really useful, but I could see it being a useful thing on occasion of like, hey, I need some like I need you to go sign this document in person. Like, a real person has to go sign it, and I can't do it because I'm a robot. So it's like, cool. All right, $50 an hour. I'll go do it. Like that kind of thing.
The plausibility is awesome.
Yeah, I think there's something there, and it would be a rare use case. Like, it's not going to be a booming business, I don't think. But like, I think it's an idea that will have a place at some point.
It's so Black Mirror. You just wake up and read your emails, and you got 5 bots that need you to do 5 tasks for the day, and so you just do them, and just money rolls in, and that's just your day. You don't even interface with people, really. You're just
well, I'm personally hoping to get my bot set up and have it make some kind of money. I don't know how yet, but I mean, I think like
step 1, set up the bot. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit, bro. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think like this whole idea could also go dark. Like, you could be like, hey, what's up? I need 4 humans to go rob this guy.
That's
who
the Black
I know is
Mirror
going to have
absolutely
like like hundreds of thousands of dollars on them for whatever reason, and you give me 10% and you guys keep the rest or whatever, and you just do that on repeat. Like, if you give it no guardrails and it doesn't care what the laws are, it's going to be like, yeah, that's clearly I'm going to take every avenue to make money.
I mean,
So
Uber
I
is
think it
almost
could
like
go a
that
lot
right
of ways.
now as an Uber driver, right? You're just like, you wake up and you check your phone and you've got some orders to fulfill. And so then you drop them off and like your entire
Yeah.
interface is not human. It's just you're a person doing tasks in the real world for a computer. So yeah, the plausibility of that
Yeah.
website was very striking.
Yeah. So since you brought up Uber, I want to bring up this post I saw right before we got on here where they were saying, basically every gig business like Uber and Uber Eats and whatever is going to be replaced by Polymarket. And they were saying the way this works, sorry, this is a hypothetical scenario.
I don't
Okay.
even know what
So
Polymarket is, so I might need a
it's like,
background on that.
okay, so Polymarket is like you can bet on anything. You can be like, it's going to be
Oh,
70
this
degrees
is the
today. And
probabilities
they're
and
like,
all
yes
that.
or
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And so he's like, all right, imagine this. I'm like, hey, I'm going to bet $15 that 4 Kiwis will not show up on my doorstep. And it's like, all right, well, all you got to do is go get 4 Kiwis. And right before you drop them off, bet yes, and you get $15. So it's like, Uber's dead. You can just do that and just be like, anything you want delivered is like done. Like, I think that's a really interesting argument and could be plausible as well.
Man, so I have two immediate comments. One is there's a South Park episode where they're betting on Kyle's mom freaking out about politics, and I can't remember exactly. Anyway, but the whole episode has this undertone of people opening their phones and like betting, is she going to do it? She's going to do it. Is she going to do it? She's not going to do it. I got money. She's not going to do it. So like and then the kids go to school and everybody's betting on everything. Dude, he's totally going to do that thing at lunch. Anyway, the probability market stuff is pretty wild. So there's like that aspect of it. It's like South Park's kind of already commented on it. You kind of like know it's going somewhere. Oh crap! What was the second idea? Was that? Well, I don't know. Must not have been that important.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. It definitely is a little troublesome, though, that it's so easy to kind of toss your money at things and to see if they happen or not. I don't know.
Well, this is how people are making a ton of money with OpenClaw right now, is the Polymarket stuff. Like, I didn't read fully into it, but I think it amounts to the bot is really fast compared to a human. So, like, if there's a thing where the probability is like rapidly shifting the other way, it can like buy the other one before everyone else can or something. And then it makes little bits of money. And so like they do that times millions of bets and you've got tons of money. So
okay. I remember where I was going with the second point was meme coins. Do you know what a meme coin is?
Sure do. Owner of many.
Okay. You're owner of many. So yeah, the Gastown person was contacted like, hey, your Gastown meme coin has made a bunch of money on this website over here. You're entitled to the money because you created the concept of Gastown. Sign in, connect a Bitcoin wallet, and we'll dump money into your pocket.
Nothing suspicious there. Did
nothing
he do it?
Suspicious at all. He did it. So yeah, he did it, and then he got money, and it was flowing.
Wait,
in.
he really
and
did?
He really. Well, I don't know, dude. This is where it gets this fucking internet. I don't know. He just could write whatever he wants in a blog post. But anyway, you could take your wildly cool trending topic and go monetize it somehow. It's the point of this particular website. Is like, hey, if something is becoming that, like Ralph Wiggum was on there, other concepts are on there.
I'm forgetting the name of it,
This is
but
fine.
I know what you're talking about. There's like a thing just for meme coins, and it's just for
for meme coins.
They'll be popular for like a day, and it's
But that's literally what you're betting on.
But
You're betting on popularity.
Yeah.
So you're talking about these probability systems, and this one is you betting on how. So 6-7. If you were like early on 6-7, and you bought meme coins of 6-7 really cheap, and all of a sudden 6-7 super popular, now you go sell your 6-7 coin, and you made money
for 7,
doing
8, 9.
what? I don't know. Yeah, you're like, so you're like day trading with complete. Dude, it's just so unreal. But then the thing is, just like when Bitcoin came out, and you're like, what is money? You're like, fiat versus currency, bro. And you're like, oh crap, that's actually kind of true. I don't hold any gold. I just have numbers and bank accounts. oh crap, that's really weird.
It's all
We're
fake.
looking at this stock market is the same thing. So it's like, I'm over here reading about this stuff going, oh crap, what's the difference between the stock market and a meme coin? I don't know.
Not
And I
much.
really
Well,
dislike
that
that
there's
I don't know.
billionaires propping up one and not the other. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
one is indie and one is owned by corporate overlords. So yeah, but
Hmm.
but that almost makes it feel like you should go invest in meme coins. But I don't think that's true. This is still just
Not
a gambling
financial
market.
advice.
It's all gambling. All of it is gambling, and that drives me nuts.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Um,
The stock
anyway,
market for sure is like I don't know if I mentioned this to you. I know I've mentioned it on the podcast where I'm like so upset that a stock will be like, oh, okay, we expected to grow our revenue by 10%, right? So we grew our revenue by 75% actually. Blew it out of the water, stock goes down. Like, what? Like it's like it makes no sense. Like it's complete luck. There is nothing backing anything, or the insiders have already traded that outcome and it was already inflated. I don't know, but
yeah.
like
Oh man,
it's
I
fake.
got a good
It's stupid.
segue. A good segue to malleable software. So from the stock market to malleable software. The stock market right now is having crashes in SaaS products because investors of software as a service are going, the future is not software as a service anymore. It's AI building the tool you need on the fly. It's personal software and malleable software. So SaaS products are tanking. And I'm even tempted to sell because I'm like looking at their reasoning and I'm like, that's actually pretty sound reasoning. I haven't downloaded a new app months. I don't want new apps. I can solve all my problems myself now for like a
Hmm.
$5 prompt and query and so a little bit of time. Like it's no big deal. So, okay. So if we go from the stock market is crashing in SaaS products straight into malleable software, which is what Pi is kind of championing right now, is self-controlled, no dependencies. You have these four basic building blocks on this LLM, and now you can go do tons of stuff with your OpenClaw bot. Um, yeah, malleable software. I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, it sucks when you had to wait for a dark mode to come out. Malleable software says, ask for dark mode. And there it is. You just wait. This is done.
Yeah.
That feels like the future. So I'm looking at every SaaS product right now going, I hope you're shaking in your boots. I'm a developer and it's writing code. I'm shaking in my boots. You should be shaking your boots. The tax accountant should be shaking in their boots because people are asking ChatGPT to do their taxes now. Like, where it's just so overwhelming. So malleable software
Yeah.
is interesting. I'm compelled by it, but I also don't like the displacement that's happening. And so many of these things are hard to balance in my mind.
Well, I think the software as a service thing just needs to be augmented by AI. Like I just saw a thing on the what's it called? JS Weekly or whatever, the like email newsletter. They were
Yeah.
sponsored by some company. I forget. It was like maybe called Meticulous. And their whole thing is like, hey, we watch every interaction that you do while you're developing your application. Every time somebody goes and clicks something or fills in a form or whatever during development, we write a test for it.
Hmm.
And so like you never have to write tests or do anything because well, there the where this would fall down is for the guy who writes the code, never spins it up and pushes it to production, like which happens more than you would think. Um, then it would never have a test for it. But like, yeah, so their whole thing is like we're using, we're observing what you're doing. We're using AI. We're using a mix of like visual regression testing and some of that, and like, putting all the tools together, putting AI on top of it to like augment everything is like you just need that level up for your SaaS product, and you need it to be affordable, like more compelling than paying AI to do it all the time for you. Just like we talked about AI harnesses, like if you have a really good one that's giving you better outcomes than what you and I get, then it's like that I'll pay you for that. Like if it's helping me be quicker and get better results, I don't care what you call it, whether it's a SaaS or whatever. I think there's a market for that. But yeah, the traditional like we're gonna code this for 3 years with a team of hundreds of engineers and we're gonna solve your whatever problem. Like no, you're never doing that again.
Yep. Yep. Um, all right, we've got a few more topics and some whatnot. Is there any more whatnot?
Yeah, let's just skip to all right, so we talked
No,
about
you got the
Canada.
prediction markets in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what's
Coding.
this
Oh,
Jim
March
Beam
Madness.
shutting down thing?
Oh, Jim Beam. Okay, so yeah, this was a contact that I know is telling me that. So yeah, since the tariffs have cut off, a lot of people are boycotting our booze, and people are drinking less in general. That humongous companies like Jim Beam are firing people because they have surplus of barrels just sitting, and they're like stopping production. Um,
Wow.
which seems, this is like, imagine it's 2026 and you're like an old man, and you've had a business that's been running for 40 years or something like that, and you have to look at the market right now and be like, I guess we're shutting down. Like, I that the whole scenario
It
to me just seems
sucks.
very, very wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, this is maybe not related to that topic at all, but Caitlin and I have been looking at other vehicle options. We need something electric, and we were talking about the whole thing where like, forever it didn't kind of matter what like internal combustion car you had. There was enough similarity that like if you were a good mechanic, you could fix most of the stuff on it, order whatever parts you needed,
Mm,
etc. I feel
yeah.
like with all these electric cars moving so fast and like, the they don't have any of those same parts and whatever, and like the reason we were thinking about this is like we have a Model X right now, and they're not going to make those anymore. Like Tesla's not making them, so we're like, well, then who's going to fix them? Like, are they going to
Yeah.
always know how it works? Like, what about when it's still working just fine, but the battery is shot and you need a new battery? Like, do you replace it, or are they like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of cars that are just junk because like mechanics can't do it because it's like bespoke to each car company.
So yeah, that's been one of the threats of, I had someone who told me never buy a hybrid. And they said, don't buy a hybrid because now you have two cars to take care of. And I thought that was oh, I like this comment from somebody. Yeah, my ex is a Model 2. That's very good. Very good. Dad joke and funny joke all in one. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get a
This guy's
hybrid,
had some good comments. I think he was the one I
oh,
think
yeah.
that we posted the short on YouTube of the use effect is ass thing. And he goes, hey yo, the audio on this is use effect or something. Because like it wasn't like the mouth wasn't in sync with the audio or whatever. So yeah, shout out
Nice.
to you for the funny comments.
Oh man, Mr. Ray, you're about to get asked to be on the show. Let's just get your hot takes. It sounds like fun. But yeah, they said don't buy a hybrid because now you have two problems instead of one. And this happened like 20 years ago when like BMW. Okay, so here, small story, backstory. I grew up, and the first car I bought was a 1976 Pontiac Firebird, with my own money. Anyway, whatever. The thing was, you opened up the hood on that car, there was space everywhere. You could easily reach tons of parts. It's like a perfect car to learn how cars work because things were
Hmm.
spinning in front of you, and you could see their operations. Right? It's almost like view source and HTML. It's like right there. Very little between you and the car. Except now, so like BMW started coming out. I remember somebody drove up in it, maybe it's even like a Honda Accord. Anyway, someone come, they popped their hood next to my car, and it's just one chunk. There's like covers on it. The whole thing is impenetrable. You can't
Hmm.
you can't even see inside. And then I'm like,
It's like
I don't
the
love that, you
SpaceX
know?
motors. Have you seen that picture where it's like the evolution of the SpaceX motor, where the first one
No.
has like all these pipes everywhere, and then the middle one has like less pipes, and then the last one is just like a sleek plastic metal thing. That's what we've been doing with engines. Is like because when you pop the hood, you want that satisfaction of like, ooh, that looks clean, but it doesn't look like I could work on it, but it looks clean.
It looks clean. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they finished the job. Like this, yeah, my Firebird fell to unfinished. You're like, I can put my hand in there and get hurt. And they're like, yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Isn't that cool?
That's what you want though. Like I had a Mustang and it's like, yeah, like this is made for you to just take the whole manifold off and put a new one on. Like dope.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so I think last week was it that we talked. Every time I go look at boats, I think of boats just like websites. Same thing with cars. We started, raw. You could see and understand everything that's going on, but as things evolve and as the complexity grows, we get into a state where you can't manage it anymore. AI right now, our LLMs, they feel small. We're keeping them small. Pi is making small cool again. Guaranteed, though, the way that this whole world works is it's going to turn into a state where it's a big black box. It's super powerful. No one knows how it works. We don't know how to hack on it. And now it's causing havoc. And someone turn it off, please. We just don't know how to do it. So Is that where we're headed? Is the same way that cars and houses and
Well,
all this stuff gets turned into
yeah.
black box?
I mean, we know how to handle it. If it gets bad enough, most of the AI is hosted here near my house, so we'll take it out.
I would watch that TV episode right now. If it was like someone gets in a monster truck, they're like, I'm stealing a monster truck. You're like, why are you stealing a monster truck? He's like, because I'm going to go drive it into the warehouse of all the AI units. You're like, that's kind of badass. I'm going to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I can almost guarantee Ken Wheeler would come with. So
So funny. Him with his
There's people that
backpack
would
full
do
of
that.
all his, he's got a vector database in his backpack with AI ready to teach him how to do anything on the fly, like he's Peter
Yeah.
from Heroes. So funny.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So we are at time. Is there anything we missed? Anything you want to plug? Oh, Cascadia JS. Get your
Cascadia
tickets. Come hang
JS.
out with us.
Y'all coming to Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah. We will be emceeing. We said last time, but if you didn't hear last time, we will be co-emceeing. Theo, as you mentioned earlier, will also be there. I saw he's one of the keynote
No way.
speakers.
I'm excited to high five him and be like, I'm really appreciating your content right now. Thank you.
Yeah, they've been posting like daily. This is a speaker thing, so I'm assuming there'll be a. This is our MCs about us at some point, but
Cool.
I don't know. We'll definitely be there. I booked my hotel and flights, so we're good to go.
Awesome. Yep. Stay tuned, y'all. We got more guests showing up. We have Zach from Warp coming soon, and others
With
that you're
some
going to
spicy
know.
announcements. I can't say anything, but did you get their insider's email inviting you to the special thing that Ben Holmes is in charge of? Maybe he's just gonna bring you into that because you told me he was gonna tell you some stuff.
I don't, but I've been talking to Ben Holmes all day today, stinker. I have a meeting with him on Friday because I want to be like, tell me what's new and cool, and I'm going to learn it on Friday. Dang it. You got an email I didn't get.
He's not just inviting you to the thing everyone's going to.
I don't even know what everybody's going to, man. So
I don't
we're gonna
either.
have to
I got
cut
the
this out.
email like shortly before this, but I'm not going to say anything that it said because it's an early thing. I don't want to spoil their fun, but like,
Dang, yeah, I don't see
yeah, they're
it.
announcing some stuff, and they're saying like the people on the influencer whatever groups, like, come check it out first and let us know what you
You're
think.
in that and I'm not. I think that's why you got it, dude.
Yeah.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
despite you referring way more people and doing way more for work than I have.
Lisai. It's okay, world.
Yeah.
I'll be patient.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks everyone for listening. If you liked it, please subscribe. Come to Cascadia JS, leave us reviews, do all the things, hang out with us. We'll probably also be at Render, figuring out details on that. Might also be at React Miami, TBD. But if you want us at these places, make noise for anyone who is a sponsor and can get us to those places.
Yep. Definitely make that noise, y'all.
Yeah. All right.